Hello and welcome. According to recent stats, 1 in 4,000 South Africans lives with albinism. It may not sound like a big number, but the fact of the matter is such people are part of society. Now, a Soweto resident believes the nation doesn't spare a thought for people living with albinism, people who experience eyesight and skin problems from birth. Nomasonto Mazibuko's brave initiative aims to make society aware of all the medical and social problems that come with albinism.
What worries me is that we have no person who is an optometrist in South Africa who specializes on the eye of a person with albinism. There's no dermatologist who specializes to say when what has happened or what should we do. When you are young and you aspire to climb the ladder of success, as a teacher, you start as a young teacher and you aspire to be deputy principal or HOD today, and you aspire to be principal and an inspector of schools.
But when Nomasonto Mazibuko applied for a job as a deputy principal at a Soweto school, she was turned down. She says her colleagues told those in charge they didn't want an albino as their leader.
It made me feel very bad because the people who turned against me are the very teachers that I had stayed for 10 years, and the people that I grew in front, or other people in that very scenario were part of my friends, part of my family, and you know that we grow to love one another, are people that I loved very much.
But all the adversity only hardened her resolve.
It didn't tear me to pieces. It gave me a thick skin to say, wow, you're different, Nomasonto, what can you do? And I imagined some other people who were in the same position, who were declined. I'm trying to find out what is the latest lot.
A determined Nomasonto began researching and learning all she could about her condition.
Albinism is a genetic disorder which affects the skin, the eyes, and the hair. We're lacking the coloring agent, which is called melanin. So our skin is very sensitive to the sun. We cannot sit for longer periods in the sun. Our eyes are very, very limited. The impairment is on our eyes because we can't see far.
She met others with the same condition as hers and was inspired to start the Albinism Society of South Africa.
We needed to explain what it is.
Over the years, the advocacy group has opened offices all over South Africa and now plans to launch in the Western Cape.
albinism usually comes as a shock. Nowhere at the antenatal clinic you're told there's a possibility of you getting a child with albinism. So by the time you get this child, so we help to effect systematic parenting and then still offer counseling to say if these parents or this woman who is so shocked, by the time she sees a person with albinism, be it a woman or a man, she will be encouraged to say, my child will also grow. And allay the fears to say we don't die, it's a disease, all those discriminations.
But as Nomasonto's initiative began gaining momentum here in South Africa, shocking news of the killings of albinos in Tanzania broke. The 2008 attacks were fueled by superstition. Albinos were being murdered for their body parts.
My heart goes out to those people in Africa today who are still killed, and where people still think that you can use a person with albinism for ulterior motives, maybe for multi-killings. And we're saying with people, I say it with pride, they helped me because I was challenged and it gave me strength to defend the albinism worldwide.
The United Nations eventually declared the condition a disability in a bid to protect those living with it.
Albinism is not for people with albinism alone. We register people as members of the organization in families because you don't belong to yourself as Nomasonto. You belong to a family, you belong to a community, you've got friends. So the more we are, the merrier.
One woman's brave initiative has ensured citizens with albinism can now live their lives knowing there's a greater chance to be accepted in society unconditionally.
In South Africa in particular, disability is a wheelchair and a white cane. So we are making inroads to say to our disabled people, please give us some space, let us fit in. And we're going to look over to government to say, this is a health issue. And we're saying to government, whilst we're saying, and we've agreed to say we're disabled because of our impairment, we're not going to sit down and ask for grants. We also want to participate in the economy of this country.
Nomasonto Mazibuko's is a lonely but brave call for a shift in social thinking. If you'd like to be part of her organization, you can call the number on your screen. Coming up, preparing leaders today for a better tomorrow.